going to give us another sneak preview of today's super collection. It's a very comedic collection. Isle?
That is true and very timely. John and Claire, our super collector always has time to collect more W.C. Fields memorabilia, like this wristwatch that I have on my arm.
It's incredible. Something like W.C. Fields, certain people become legends, and their work so many years after they've done it is still so wonderful to watch.
Yeah, and it's wonderful to see people who collect that stuff, too.
I love
so let's go to Chicago, Illinois. Isle?
Hey, John, I'm in the basement of our super collector's home where he has vaudevillian memorabilia, including the Stooges, the Groucho Marx, but his favorite is W.C. Fields. And I'm with Domenic Divito again. Thank you again for having us.
Pleasure being here.
Now, Domenic, you were born almost 20 years after W.C. Fields passed away, so
Correct.
Where did this appreciation come from?
Well, as a kid, I just grew up here in Chicago and watching a lot of TV, and they broadcast a lot of his old films, along with Laurel and Hardy and the Three Stooges, and I got hooked on them that way.
Wow, so what was the first piece you collected?
I think it was a book, actually. Yeah.
Which one?
It was this one right here. It's called Godfrey Daniels. It's a book. I wanted to know more about W.C. Fields, about his films he made, the stories he would tell, and the man himself. So I went to a used bookstore and looked under the filmography section and found out.
Relatively easy to find?
Very easy. Yeah, in the beginning it was affordable too.
And then at that point you just started collecting everything else?
It just snowballed from there. I knew what more was out there.
Now how young were you at that point?
About 19.
19. That's great to have an appreciation at that young of an age.
Yeah, well.
So what's your oldest piece in the collection?
I'd have to say it's this photograph right here. It was hanging in the dealer that sold it to me at an old movie theater, probably in the 1940s.
Wow.
And you can tell by the ornate frame around the picture that it is pretty old.
And it's an original.
And it's an original, yeah. I'm very proud of this piece.
Wow. So where did you find this?
I got it from a dealer at a movie memorabilia convention, where I found a lot of my items.
Are there a lot of conventions around the country?
Oh, yeah. Yes, they are, especially here in Chicago. Midwest is popular for them.
And how often do you go?
Every time there is one.
Wow. So I see you have different dolls around of the Stooges, of Laurel and Hardy. Now, do you have one that is your favorite for W.C. Fields?
Yes, I do. It's a commemorative doll issued in 1980, commemorating the centennial of his birth. He was born in 1880, died in 1946. It was made by the company called F&B. And it's still mint in the box. I didn't want to take it out.
Right.
So,
you didn't open this at all?
Not at all,
You restrained yourself.
A true collector never does.
That is amazing. So we see that it has the pinkness to the face.
Everything's authentic, down to the T, to the little tie clasp, everything.
Now, what kind of characters did he usually play? Like regular, everyday guys or a rich person?
No, a cantankerous more so kind of a guy. He hated children and dogs, and he wasn't afraid to show it on TV, on the film.
Wow, that's amazing. So let's see something else that you have, you have novelty items that people wouldn't normally buy, I don't think.
No, a lot of them were scarce to obtain, and I was lucky enough to get them.
Now, let's talk about these toiletries.
These were toiletries issued in the 1970s with W.C. Fields' image on it. There was a series of 4. There's cologne, after bath splash, and deodorant.
Okay, now I have to ask you, did you use these?
None of, well, I've got duplicate sets, so I did use some. I just do have more than one set, so.
So did you use the frozen daiquiri after bath body splash?
That I didn't, but I did splash on a bit of the cologne.
Okay, how does it smell?
Pretty good, considering its age, yeah.
Wow. So again, in the shape of a flask.
A flask, because it's, yeah.
And sold as a book, but when you open it up,
right.
It has the toiletries
exactly, in their order, right.
Wow. So what would you do if you were able to meet W.C. Fields right now?
Oh, golly, I'd become really good friends with him and ask him for a lot of autographs.
Did you ever get a chance to get an autograph from like one of your
yes, I did. In fact, I was very fortunate to find one. I did find one at a movie memorabilia store, and it's this one right here. And it's addressed to a gentleman. I guess he signed it to him personally back then in the 1940s. James Harvey, warmest regards, W.C. Fields.
Wow, that's amazing. Priceless for you?
Priceless? Yeah, very priceless.
Very priceless.
Yeah, that's actually something he put his hand to.
Now tell me about your fan club that you are the vice president of.
Well, I'm the vice president of the fan club, and we have members all around the country. We're about 200 in number, and we're growing.
And is one of your goals to introduce W.C. Fields to a younger generation?
Yeah, hopefully we can get him more on TV and have him seen in his films, you know, and get more members that way.
Oh, that would be great.
It would. It would.
Well, thank you very, very much for showing us your collection.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.